Welcome to another episode of In the Workshop, and this is all about finding out why the Stuart 10V does not run at all. This old Stuart 10V belongs to a man called Bob Brocklehurst, and Bob runs the Pugney's Light Railway in Wakefield, West Yorkshire, United Kingdom. This is one of 3 engines that I need to repair. One of them is a steam plant, possibly in the worst condition I've ever seen. More about that in a future video. For now though, it's back to the Stuart 10V and it's a test run. Is it going to work? I didn't think it would work, and it doesn't. Every bit of the air that I'm putting into the steam chest is just blowing straight out of the exhaust, so this could be down to 2 things. Either the engine does not have a piston, or, more likely, there's something wrong with the slide valve. This is a very common fault. I see it all the time, and I have a standard fix for it. After removing the 4 small 7BA nuts, holding the steam chest cover to the steam chest, I can remove it and have a look inside. What I usually find is, even after I've removed the nuts, the steam chest cover is reluctant to split away from the steam chest itself. So to help it along, I use a scalpel blade. And a quick health and safety warning: if you're going to use a scalpel blade to do this, wear eye protection. Scalpel blades were not designed to do this, and they're made of a very high tensile steel, and if this blade snaps it could fly anywhere at a high speed. It's just as I thought, but this is a variation. The slide valve is actually stuck to the crossbar, and the crossbar is in the wrong way round, and this allows the slide valve to move too far away from the ports. It's a simple fix. First of all, I just carefully file some of the valve to slightly widen the gap where the crossbar fits. For this job I'm using a very fine needle file, and I'm not taking much material off at all, as you can see. It looks a lot better already. The crossbar's in the right position, and it's not holding the slide valve against the ports, but it's keeping the slide valve close to the ports. As I rotate the crankshaft, I notice that the slide valve is in the correct position, travelling the same amount over each port, so all I have to do now is refit the steam chest cover. So having done that, it's time for an air test. Is it going to work? Well, yes, it works very well. Now to find out why it sounds like a pneumatic drill. Although you can't see it in the video, when I touch the flywheel with my finger to stop it, I can feel that the flywheel is loose on the crankshaft, and that would explain why the engine is making a loud knocking sound. The flywheel is held to the crankshaft using a slot head grub screw. I'll tighten this up and try again. That is much better. What I'm doing at the moment is looking at the valve timing, because it sounds very late to me, and indeed it is. Steam or air is admitted after top dead centre, but unfortunately there is a slight problem. I'll explain what that is shortly, but I'll just run the engine for a while. So what's the problem? Why am I being so picky? Well, I like things to be right, and I do not like late admission. There are 2 problems. One is the grub screw is broken, so I'm removing that with a pair of surgical forceps. It took a while to get it out, but in the end I got it out and I fitted a bolt. Quite a long bolt, because someone has drilled the crankshaft and the bolt goes into the crankshaft. I'm also not happy with the slot-headed grub screw on the flywheel. I removed the grub screw and then I took off the flywheel, and as you can see, the crankshaft is also drilled all the way through at this side. The thread in the flywheel boss was originally 5BA. I'm rethreading it 4BA to take a substantial Allen type head grub screw. This clip shows me fitting the grub screw, and this doesn't go all the way into the crankshaft, it just seats in the hole in the crankshaft, and it should hold the flywheel firmly to the crankshaft. I ground the end of the grub screw so that when the grub screw was in position, it didn't stick out of the flywheel. This is a good idea because it gives some support to the end of the grub screw where the Allen key fits. That's really about it for this video. I'm going to leave you with the engine running. I'd just like to say that I will be repainting this engine after I've thoroughly cleaned it up first. So you have a painting video to look forward to. Before I go though, I'd just like to explain that the engine is still retarded because I can't really refit the eccentric in a different position owing to the drilling in the crankshaft. But having said that, it runs okay. There's a bit of end-to-end float on the crankshaft, but this is not a big problem and it's very common in most steam engines. That's it from me, thanks for watching and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Main Steam Models website. Click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you will find it very easy to find other videos that you may like to watch.